Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And it's day one of the new season. We've got the Surtur season that has kicked off. So naturally, we're going to have two Surtur decks for you. We're going to have two Frigga decks for you. We have the number one deck of the October season, what is already number one in the November season. Spoiler, it's all Sizer. And six brand new decks for you, because if we're going to do a new season, we're going to kick it off big. We're going to begin with a deck we've looked at a similar version of, but not this version of, previously. This is a grand total of one card changed from the deck that Sizer has been playing for most of the season. This version replaces the swing position that has been cards such as Hercules, cards such as Copycat, cards like Doctor Strange, with Mobius and Mobius, because toward the end of last season, there started to be a lot of decks like Scar decks and other annoying things, where Mobius would just, Sarah decks, so on, where Mobius would just say, I'm not actually worried about the things you're doing. I can just, I have so much power and you don't have enough energy to really make up for it, because Mobius is that good in those matchups. You can find Sizer at twitch.tv/Sizer2654. He was again the number one season last season. This is his third of being number one on the Infinite Leaderboard. He was number one in December. He was number one in July. He's number one this season. And guess what? Starting in November, he got to Infinite and is immediately number one again. And it's worth noting that that is not usually the case. The person who is number one tends to get dropped a little more, not immediately reclaim first place. But Sizer's season has been that dominant. This deck needs exactly two high series cards, well, three technically, right? Madam Web and Alioth must be here. Ghost Spider or Aranya can be Strange, can be Doctor Strange. Mobius can be Hercules, Copycat, Strange, Rogue, so on. Pick a good mid-range 3-drop that you think suits your game plan, and you'll be fine. You could even go so far as to add Sage there in that spot. So Sizer's played, I just want to make this clear, a completely absurd amount of games. He played like 1,300 games of Marvel Snap last season with just this deck and its variations. He played 3 decks over the course of the season. This was obviously the most played, because the other one he was playing a ton got nerfed out from under him. But this deck has been wildly, incredibly played. But a 61% win rate at the very top of Infinite is absolutely stellar. This isn't top 10%. This isn't top 10,000. This is top players. Almost every game is against the top 100 players. 61% is through the roof. Sizer ended up with a plus 864 cubes with this deck overall as well. Turn 1, you want Aranya. Turn 2, you want Madam Web over getting Torch going. Turn 3 is, generally speaking, Cosmo. Vulture is fairly fine here, and if you get a free win from Mobius, a snap in Mobius is often worth doing. Turn 4, you really want to power up a move. You get a move card ready to go. Turn 5 is the next mover, and you cloak right. Try and make sure as often as possible your moves and plays are settling you into the left and center locations as long as you have cloak, because cloak right on the last turn gives you all the unpredictability you need to make sure you win the game. Turn 6 is Heimdall or Alioth, and then you have 1. That's it. It's not the easiest deck to play, but it's also not the hardest move deck to play. I cannot urge you to try this enough. It is one of the very best decks in Marvel Snap, and Mobius being added to it gives you all sorts of reach against decks that would otherwise, like Sarah, like Scar, give you a bunch of trouble. Cool. After this, we're going to do some more Sizer, the number one deck again this season, and a huge announcement. So please enjoy this deck. Give it a try. It is still absolutely meta. It is still absolutely great. Sizer played an absurd, literally inhuman amount of games, so he's moved on, but this deck should not die. It is still one of the best in all of Marvel Snap. And if you want more of the best decks in all of Marvel Snap, please hit that sub button. We just hit 15,000 subs, and we're so grateful. We're going to see if we can get lucky, if we can pull off a miracle and get to 16,000 by the end of 2024, so we need your support to get there. Liking and subscribing do a ton here, so do comments. It tells YouTube to show us to more people, and if you're willing to do that, it would mean the absolute world to us. We bring you more new decks than everyone and anyone in this community, or honestly any other that I'm aware of. We give you the most new decks, at least 4 every day, 6 today. Hit that sub button, please. In addition, your like and comment, as long as you're subbed, can enter you to win a Surtur season pass. If you don't have that new season pass card, this is your place to get it. We gave away 5 of that season pass last week. We always do 5 on the last week of the season, then we do 5 of the first week of the season. So all you have to do is I don't even know if I kept the question. We'll figure out the question later. all you have to do is sub, like, and comment. And someone who comments on this video with a specific comment that'll be said later this video will be entered to win that season pass. So all you have to do is sub, like, and comment, and you can win a free Surtur. All right, the Sizer 10 test. He just named it this. He played this for a half of his Games to Infinite. You'll see what the deck he played for the other half of his Games to Infinite is later. Spoiler, it's a Frigga deck. This deck is incredibly strong. It's incredibly simple. It's super straightforward. Sizer added two of his pet cards to the list. One is Cosmo. Cosmo was completely out of the list in July. Sizer started playing it in his Darkhawk list, in his Darkhawk Iron Man list of all things, and as a way to like start to get into the Hela matchup. And it's just been a popular card in the meta ever since. And Juggernaut's absolutely incredible. Sizer's been playing it forever. He was playing it as early, as long as I've known him. Also, please note this: a ridiculously cool Juggernaut variant will be coming out later this season, and I'm gonna buy that. This is just a really simple deck, right? You want to get out tens, and then you want to put out enough power to win. And if your opponent's like, okay, I can go taller than them there, they have to deal with, you have priority, right? So they have to deal with Cosmo or Juggernaut. So you can really, really win one lane on the cheap or semi-cheap because you have 1 4 10 there with like your Juggernaut, and then you can steal that other lane with like just going absurdly like 40 power tall. All right, so you can find Sizer at twitch.tv/Sizer2654. This deck needs Scar and Surtur. Cull can be Warpath. It's weaker, but it's doable. Bob, Sable, and Zabu can just be Nightcrawler, Iceman. Pick your ones. Zabu's a little harder to replace, but whatever. You'll be fine if you must. And announcement time. Today at 3:30. Yeah, today, as you're watching this, Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, thereabouts anyway, I'll be going live with Sizer. He's going to coach me to Infinite. I climbed to 77. I'll tell you what list I used later on this video, but I climbed to 77 in about actually in exactly 11 games. Because that's when I unlocked all my rewards for the season, right? And that's when I was like, ooh, good enough, and I stopped playing. So Sizer's going to coach me using whatever decks. We'll take some viewer recommendations to Infinite on stream, or at least part of the way to Infinite on stream. So if you want to see me get coached by Sizer, please check me out on Twitch, Pulse Glazer. It'll also be streaming right here on YouTube and on Sizer's Twitch, which you can see on the screen. Pick any of the above, and you can watch us play some great Marvel Snap today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Cool? All right, so this deck went 36 and 14, 71% win rate, and 70 cubes. Well, that's fairly absurd, right? That is utterly absurd numbers. Zabu over Bob over Sable, turn 1. Armor over a 1 on turn 2. Turn 3, you want Surtur over Cosmo. Get Surtur down. Surtur's often a snap condition. Turn 4, Crossbones or Cull over Typhoid. Turn 5 is another 4/10, and drop that with a 1, please, because you have 3 1s on the deck. And then turn 6, Scar and Blob, or Scar and Cosmo or Armor. Cool. If wait, what? That's not true. That's not what I meant to say there at all. Turn 6 is Scar and another 4/10. Oof, excuse me, I apparently just didn't rewrite that. Or Scar and Cosmo / Juggernaut. You can Scar, Cosmo, and Juggernaut all at the same time fairly often with this list. That's absolutely absurd. So next up is going to be the last Sizer deck, the Frigga one, but we're going to have another Surtur deck for those of you without Cull and Zabu later on this video, and we'll have another Frigga deck as well. But first, we got to talk about the Heim is Him bundle. This is a 205% bundle. This is good value. This is not must buy, but it's getting close to it. Usually, okay, so 173%, anyone who's been watching a lot of videos knows this, 173% is our good buy. It's a thing that you can totally spend money on. It's solid. About 190 to 200% is a good to very good buy, and then once you get up to 210 to 220, you're like, oh my god, must buy. So this is a very good buy. It gives you a really cool variant for a very powerful card that you can use in that first deck we talked about. Why not have it? Do you need this? Is this important? No. Like, you will be totally fine. This is just regular credits and regular gold. If there's a variant you're eyeing, though, you might as well grab this. This gets you that rare variant, not the super rare variants, but the rare variant. Well, 1,800 credits is just nice. It's this is a nice amount of stuff, right? This is again not like game breaking, not game changing, but a nice amount of stuff for the value. All right, next up we have Sizer's Frigga 1, and those of you who watch every day are like, we saw this deck yesterday. Yeah, we did, so I'm going to go through this ridiculously quickly and then give you another Frigga deck. But this is the other deck Sizer used today. I don't know what to tell you. So you can find, again, Sizer at Sizer2654. This is the deck I'm probably going to have him teach me a little bit because I want to get a little better at Bounce Move. It's my weakest deck. really good at bounce. I'm pretty good at move. I'm terrible at bounce move. So this needs Aranya, Madam Web, and Toxin. You cannot do without any of those. Frigga can be Sage or Anti-Venom. Sorry, or Agent Venom, not Anti-Venom. So we're going to go fast as we go through this list, but we must note that Avazord is playing the same list, except he does have Agent Venom in it over Doctor Strange, and he's got an even better win rate than Sizer does right now. Avazord's brilliant, and also got Infinite with this list. Apparently, a lot of people are playing variations on this list right now, partially because of my video, partially because this is where you should be going with the Frigga right now, but it is very, very, very strong. So, please check out Avazord playing this list as well. Avazord is an absolute genius, ridiculously brilliant card player. He hit Infinite while playing both Pokemon Pocket and Marvel Snap at the same time. Cool? All right, so Sizer's rate with this was 30 and 21, 57%, much lower win rate than usual, but plus 79 cubes. He had a better cube rate with this than this card deck. Turn 1 Aranya, turn 2 Web over Torch move twice. Turn 3, you can either start bouncing that first mover, or you can frigging Madam Web or a move Torch are both great, or play Vulture. Turn 4 is the second mover. Turn 5 is second bounce or Frigga, and then turn 6 is replay everything as tall as you can get. The main win condition here is not Frigga, though. It's Madam Web. If you can keep a Madam Web going, you go so big that nothing can really stop you. Cool? We're going to do a new Frigga deck. I know we did that quickly. If you want a slower review of that one, please check yesterday's video. I don't want to bore people who watch every single video. So we're going to do a new Frigga deck, and then we're going to go back to Scar. But again, I think this deck, for those who are able to play it, much like that first deck, for those who are able to play it, are about the most powerful thing you could be doing right now, especially as so many of the Scar decks have cut Shadow King. All right, so season pass question. We did this yesterday. This is the question from yesterday. So we're going to update the question for the new day, and we're going to say, what are your first impressions of Surtur and Frigga? Got it? The question is not what's on the screen. It's what are your first impressions of Surtur and Frigga? Tomorrow, in the video, we will have top player impressions for Surtur and Frigga. So let's get your impressions before the top players, and then you can see how well they match up in tomorrow's video. Get it? Cool, right? All right, so Yo Woody NJ's friggin' Ajax is, I named it, sorry. I don't know what Woody wants to name it, but he had it like deck 18. Is really, really cool. I love this list. Longtime viewers will know I'm a big, big Ajax fan. I think that Anti-Venom and Frigga are ridiculously good synergy. Frigga has a million good targets in this. Anti-Venom has a million good targets in this, right? Anything's a good target with Anti-Venom. You have Luke Cage, right? It's just make a card cost 0. But, excuse me, but like I can Frigga off a Cassandra Nova. That's going to be big already. Like if I Cassandra Nova on 3, Frigga on 4, I've got that big Cassandra Nova. I can Frigga off a Medusa. That's going to be a 2/5. So I can make it a 13 power lane by going Medusa, Frigga, Medusa, and whatever US Agent. I can Frigga off the Valentina card. I can Frigga off obviously the Anti-Venom card. Probably not Frigga off anything else really. Like I'm not super sad to get a 1/3 Sable that I can turn into a 1/5. But yeah, you get the gist. There's a lot of power to this list. It is very cool and has a million different combos. So you can find Woody at twitch.tv/YoWoodyMJ. Woody finishes on the top 10 of the Infinite Leaderboard every season. He was not number 1 this season, but he wasn't top 5 like he usually is for the past 2 seasons, but he was still like ranked 7. So one of the best players in the world. This deck needs Ajax and US Agent. I then looked to see if it needed anything else, and I don't think it does. Man-Thing and Anti-Venom can be Shang and Iron Lad, but now this isn't really a Frigga deck anymore, because Frigga is here to be comboed with Anti-Venom, and then you just play a different list. Cassandra and Frigga can be Rogue or Red Guardian. Blob and Sable can be Iceman, Nightcrawler, and Spider-Ham, and Valentina can be Cable or Mirage. It's also worth noting that within a card of this, I think was Mirage, literally over Medusa. Space Wax came up with the same deck. This is a legitimately powerful list, worth giving some spin to. People are crushing with it. Woody in particular, 67%, until he got bored and went to Surfer because he's a Surfer main, apparently. Turn 1, Frigga over Bob. Excuse me, Sable over Bob, turn 1. Turn 2, US Agent or Valentina over Medusa. If you don't have another 3, you're going to be playing Frigga, you can just Medusa into Frigga here. Getting US Agent is incredibly powerful against Scar decks. It just means you get to win that lane for limited commitment. Meanwhile, Valentina is just like if you need that 4-drop, right? You don't have anti-venom or nothing. Turn 3 is Cassandra Nova or Luke. Cassandra is better. Again, if you don't have a 4-drop, then you can go Cass into Frigga. If you have Luke, Luke is phenomenal and really powerful. Not a required play unless you're planning on playing Man-Thing. You can usually get away with not playing Luke unless you are playing Man-Thing. And you Frigga, Agent, or Medusa. You're perfectly fine to Frigga, US Agent, especially in that Scar matchup. Same exact logic as before. Turn 4, Anti-Venom or Man-Thing. If you have Frigga, Anti-Venom is better. If not, Man-Thing is often very powerful. It's often like a 4-11, 4-13. Hazmat and Frigga for the Anti-Venom card is my preferred turn 5 play. You can always drop Ajax. You can drop Frigga, US Agent, and a 1. And then turn 6, Hazmat and Man-Thing, or Hazmat, US Agent, and a 1 or another 2. And that's it, right? All right, this list is super strong. Play it. You'll not be sad if you have access to these cards. It dominates the Surtur meta. It is a deck that you must play. All right, it's time for the cheaper Surtur Scar, but one last look at this first. Really, really cool list. Looks more expensive than it is, with only 2 high series cards really needed, though you must have Anti-Venom and Frigga are a ridiculous combo. I warned you of that last week. They are phenomenal together. Hey, if you'd like to see gameplay from all of these decks, please check out the Stream Team. The Stream Team are some of our friends that stream decks for us on a regular basis. It's Wednesday, so the great GamingwithFlashX is releasing, is live on Twitch from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern with these decks. And then after he's live from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern, he will have a video up tomorrow morning. Prashaun should have a video up from yesterday's decks this morning as well. All right, BitTwiddle's Sure Surtur is this list. And you're going, you told me no cull and no cull in this list. And that's true. I did tell you no cull in this list. You're not wrong. However, Bit played this without the cull, and then I was like, please add cull and Quicksilver, and he did. So like there's multiple ways to play it. The win rate was basically the same whether it had cull or not. So I'm going to show you what the other card is here. Sorry, I know Eliath and Red Hulk are here as well. You just need big cards, right? You just need whatever 6s are biggest here. So Magneto is perfectly fine. Blob is perfectly fine. Just pick your biggest 6 and you will be completely okay. So you need Scar and Surtur, no cull, then you add Psylocke for Quicksilver and Warpath for cull, and then your Eliath becomes Magneto, your Red Hulk becomes Magneto. One of these becomes Giganto, whatever. You pick a big frickin' card and you'll be big frickin' fine. If you have Sasquatch, by the way, Sasquatch works really well because you're going to play a card on 4 and then you can just Sasquatch on 5. But basically, your gist is you go Surtur into a Tomb, Crossbones, Cull, or Typhoid Mary, into Arrow, into Eliath, Red Hulk, and Eliath or Red Hulk, and Scar. Yikes. All right, so bit rules: turn 1 Quicksilver, turn 2 Armor, turn 3 Surtur, turn 4 410, turn 5 is 410 or Arrow, turn 6 is Scar and Red Hulk or Eliath. If you ever wanted to hit infinite by like turning card, like this is the magic equivalent of turn card sideways the deck. This is aggro, play the big dumb idiots. All right, so that was a lot of Surtur and Frigga. Let's do one last deck that doesn't have each of those cards, but counters the decks that feature both of them. Are we almost ready? First, we got a Doom bundle. Oh, shoot. There's a $100 Doom bundle for the next week. Well, is it good? Well, the Jacinto Doom is gorgeous and has me honestly considering buying this. It comes with 10,000 credits, which is, for my personal interest, an awful lot of splits, 1,500 gold, which is fine, 3,000 collector's tokens, which doesn't mean a lot. Is this good value, though? For $100, 193.2% progress is fine. Is it amazing? No. Is it must buy? No. This is slightly worse than the smaller bundle. You can, by buying smaller bundles, eventually get to this kind of value just by they're often 205 to 218% bundles, and if you buy a bunch of those, eventually totaling $100, you'll get better value than this one. But this Jacinto Doom is sweet. So you should probably not buy this and pass on it unless you need the 10,000 credits for specific spotlight keys that you want to use this week or next week. And it's worth noting that this week and next week have extremely powerful Series 5 cards on their spotlight caches, and you have use for that 3,000 tokens. If you have immediate use for this, this is a good buy. If not, you're better off waiting and buying smaller stuff. I still might need Jacinto Doom though. All right, Tuccrr's Woody update. This should actually be Ika update. I was literally talking to Woody while I built the deck, so I wrote the wrong name. We saw this list about a week ago, but it's like incredible right now. It absolutely smokes everything. I think I'm adding Mobius to it. I haven't decided for sure for Rogue because all the ongoing in the meta has disappeared except for other Sarah decks. So if that remains the case, I haven't seen any Iron Man. If you're still seeing Iron Man, please don't cut Rogue. But I may add Mobius to the list because I think that I can beat everything with this, and this list is through the roof strong. So twitch.tv/EKMTS made the original, and Tuccrr updates it. So this list needs Monkey and US Agent. If you don't have Agent Venom, you can add Gwenpool, and I think that's the really brilliant thing Tuccrr did here. The change was um, Gwenpool for blah, 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 Shang-Chi. So this is a Scar meta. This has all the 410s in it. If you can get one of those Shanged off even at 4, you can disrupt their whole game plan and win the game. In addition, Agent Venom does much of the same job as Gwenpool for many of the cards in this list. So it's like your Gwenpool buff is fairly often just sort of wasted, and Agent Venom takes care of that for you. Red Guardian for this list can just be Ghost. I kind of like Ghost for this list. Red Guardian in this list could obviously also be Mobius, which I just talked about. So this is a meta smasher right now. Turn 1, you pass. Turn 2, Agent Venom is better than US Agent, which is more or less equal to Invisible Woman. You'd much rather play US Agent and Invisible Woman on turn 4, but you will get one down just in the interest of energy efficiency. Turn 3 is supposed to be Bishop over Red Guardian. Turn 4 is Invisible Woman and a card behind her over Shang if you want. If you think your opponent might be culling, feel free to drop that early Killmonger on turn 3. Turn 4, Invisible Woman, a card behind her. Shang if you know where they're playing a giant card. If they ramped into a 410, feel free to Shang that away and ruin their game plan. Turn 5 is Sarah. Turn 6 is Mysterio, Monkey, and control cards. Sometimes Mysterio, Monkey, and Shang. Sometimes Mysterio, Monkey, Shadow King, and Mysterio, Monkey, Shadow King, and US Agent. You figure out what control cards you need that win the game to go with your big old Mysterio and Monkey. And then you win because this list is freaking awesome. Play it, win with it. If you want to hit infinite, this and the Scar list are going to be the easiest things to play. This is going to farm those Scar lists. The Scar lists are just huge. Until you start getting too much mirrors, you'll win a ton with them. Enjoy your cubes, my friends. Questions of the day. Both questions are actually for mandatory burnout. I don't think we've ever done that before, but I wanted to answer both these questions. Mandatory burnout asks what card and deck I want to carry me to infinite this season, and that's not really how I work. I have like 17 decks built. I play 5 or 6 games with each until I get bored, and then I switch up. Very rarely do I have one deck I play exclusively until the 90s, and the only reason I have an exclusive 90s deck is kind of because that's a deck I want to make content on. So I try and like get stats on something that's worked well in the 90s, and then I could do a video on that. And I think that's interesting. I know that my longtime viewers really enjoy that, but I don't. Right now, what I'm playing is Bounce. I'm playing the one that has Bishop, Hitmonkey, and Sage, along with Black Swan. So I've been playing that Bounce list, and I've been farming the crap out of Scar decks. Unless they absolutely like Cosmo me, I've just been smoking them. Sizer's version has Juggernaut, which can beat me, but outside of that, I haven't had too much trouble. Again, I played either 11 or 12 games, and I got to rank 77. Manager Brown also wants to know what Ragnar early to medium makes me want to rush to Valhalla, and the answer to that is Valkyrie Profile. Valkyrie Profile is absolutely stellar. It's a PS1 JRPG. It is really, really fun. I don't know if it holds up. I haven't played it in 20 years, but I love it. To me, my noble Anharia. All right, we're almost done, friends. It's patreon.com/snapjudgments. You can find me there and offer some extra support if you are so inclined. Certain tiers of Patreon come with on-air support. So I'm going to say thank you to, oh no, I lost my bullets for the left row. Abigail Gleason, Mandatory Burnout. We just saw your questions. It Regardless, David G. Wingfield, Dirty Casual. Thank you for being so casually dirty. LAB, always kind. FaThorNewman. Check him out on YouTube and Twitch, please. Good Dog Gamer Inc. I am Frostman Je Navarit. Thinking Poker. I'm always thinking poker. That's not true. It's a lie. I don't think about poker ever. Primed Ryan of Primed Mind app fame. Ryan Burke of The Burks. The great Bronx Burks. Ryan Wood. Woody. Woody's deck is really powerful right now. Kira Tixley, the king of questions. Koirei, coming all the way from Japan, but still voting, my friend. American expat. Black Dahlia, my alliance leader. Pyrofrost and Goatseeker, 2 more alliance leaders. Archangel 3K, all 3,000 Archangels. Hollowed. Quid Pro Joe. Fat Nick, Mr. Kerfuffle, Ginger Prime, hey Ginge. Philip Ratkovich, rooting for you in the top 4, my friend. Haplu. Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone. Rob Silverman of Middle Row Pride. The Bizza. Black, Jeebus, Extra C, and Skippy G. Jessica, Gamble, Tommy, Nyquist, the King of Bros, bruh, the Great Kazoo, Kevsy Huda, Ludacris, Q Town, Corbin, John Q, and Jimmy McHugh, Glam, 8th, freaking Sage, Mod Supreme Models. I hope you're feeling better, my lovely and loyal friend. The Green Goblin, but I think today he's Harry Osborn. The Unibot, welcome aboard, friend. Flan56 as well, welcome aboard. Steven, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, and Jason B. Real Name Town. The Fuzzy Knob, Spectrumix, Hoot, Matt H. Only One We Need. DJ Mikey Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex. You, Laris, Mr. Craig Sterry, thank you for the kind words yesterday. BG, Zodrex, also amazingly kind yesterday. But further, Zodrex, please check him out on Twitch. The King of Canada's got a Twitch and a YouTube. Do those. Then Man Falcons got a YouTube. Jonesy's got a YouTube where he does triple threat videos. Two Ties is a retired teacher and an awesome person. The Great Lauren Whatevs is one of my favorite people. The Pirate King Tuccrr is a deck we got tomorrow. And of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for. Check yesterday's video. I got it linked right here for you. I also have a podcast interview with Glenn Jones, and I feel like you probably have interest in that. Glenn Jones made the damn game, so I think his insight is really valuable. That's all I got for today. This one feels like a long one. All right, whatever. Stuff happens. See you in the morning for hopefully good news. Peace.